everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something interesting. We're going to be ranking the albums of new metal slash groove metal legends Soulfly, and we're starting off with their debut. Now, when I originally started my listen, I had this plan to go at perfection, but once I got done, I actually have it at the top of Fantastic now. But great opener with Eye for an Eye, No Hope Equals No Fear, Bleed featuring Fred Durst, Tribe, Boomba, Commandment featuring DJ Lethal and Chino Marino, Boomclat is also fantastic as well. Great instrumental with the title track Soulfly. Boombaba Brum is also pretty good as well. Quilombo featuring I'm sorry, yo, I'm brain farting on his name, but it's the lead singer of Skindred. Benji Webb, I just remembered. Featuring Benji Webb. Also, banger with Fire, The Song Remains Insane, No, Prejudice, and Carmageddon. Fantastic album, a little overly long, though, if I'm being entirely honest with you. This album is 15 tracks, so it's a little long for my taste, but that's just my opinion, though. Next up, though, is Primitive. And no joke, this is my favorite Soulfly album. This is going to the tippy top of perfection. Took everything that the self-titled did and just put it together, made it more tight, made it more consistent, made it just from beginning to end a banger. 10 out of 10 opener with Back to the Primitive. Same with Pain, Bring It, Jump the Fuck Up featuring Corey Taylor, Merlambo, Sun Song featuring Sean Lennon, Elton John's son, Boom, Terrorist features Tom Araya of Slayer, The Prophet, Soulfly 2, Great Instrumental, In Memory of, which I'm trying to remember, it actually features two rappers, but I can't remember the name. And then Fly High, 10 out of 10 closer featuring Asha Rabuin. Excellent album. This is a 10 out of 10 album. This is a 12-track masterpiece, in my opinion. But next up is 3. And this is, unfortunately, going to great. This is one of their lesser albums, in my opinion. Good opener with Down Story. That's like an 8. Seeking Strike is a 9. Interfaith is an 8. Same with 1. Last of the Mohicans and Brazil are 9s. Tree of Pain is an 8. Just a little overly long. I do like the Asha Rabuin parts, though. I'll be real with you. One Nation was an 8. And then 9/11/01. I'm just going to call this track 9/11. 9/11 is basically just a minute of silence. I don't know if we needed this here, though, to be real with you. I understand this came out in 2002, about a year after that event, so it's still fresh in our minds, but still, Then we have Call to Arms, 4 Elements, and Soulfly 3, which are all decent 8. Same with Sangre de Barro and Zumbai. Blank Space Outro, all decent 8s. A great album, just not a perfect album like the last one we had. I wouldn't even say it's on par with the debut. But next up, though, we're getting into the genuinely amazing stuff. We're back to amazing with Prophecy. This is going to the tippy top of amazing. I originally had this in Fantastic, but it got beat out by another album, you'll see. But classic opener with Prophecy. You got Living Sacrifice as a banger. Execution Style. Defeat You is a very strong 9. Same with Mars and I Believe. Moses is a strong 9. Born Again Anarchist is a 10. Parada is like a 10 out of 10. Also love the Brazilian elements that they put in this. And honestly, in pretty much all their albums, they put like a lot of Brazilian tribal elements in here. Really interesting stuff. I also love the helmet cover In the Meantime. Soulfly 4 is a great instrumental. Same with Wings featuring, I believe this features Asha Raboan again. I could be wrong about that though, but it does feature a female singer. And March on the River Dinah is just a fantastic little hidden track. I really like this. It feels like we're at like a jazz march. It's really fun. But next up we have Dark Ages. Woo! Dark Ages. This is going to S. Below Primitive, but this is my second favorite. This album is extremely dark. I just want to tell you this right now. This album was written after Matt's lost his 8-month-old grandson and lost his good friend Dimebag Darrell to, we all know the Dimebag Darrell story. For those of you that don't know, a man snuck up behind Dimebag Darrell and shot him in the back of the head. So that album is in reference to this extremely pissed off album. I mean, you got the instrumental of the Dark Ages, but then it kicks right on to Babylon, I and I, Carved Inside, Arise Again, Molotov, Frontlines, Inner Spirit, Corrosion Creeps. Riot Starter almost feels like, this feels like Firestarter by the Prodigy filtered through Soulfly. Excellent album with Riot Starter. 10 out of 10 track, honestly. Then you have Bleak, The March, Feel the Hate, Stay Strong, an 8-minute track, and a Soulfly 5, which is a 10-minute and 51-second track, or instrumental interlude. And it's probably still my favorite interlude that they've done. Very sad, honestly. This interlude feels very sad and bleak. Pun partially intended, but it's just a very depressing and very heartbreaking interlude. But next up, we have to get up more on the hot, to bring the mood back up. We got Conquer. This album is going to the bottom of amazing. 10 out of 10 opener with Blood, Fire, War, Hate. Unleashes a 9. Same with Paranoia and Warmageddon. Enemy Ghost is a 10, though. Rough is a 9. Follow the Sycophants is a 9. Same with Doom and For Those About to Rot and Touching the Void. Soulfly 4, unfortunately, this is the worst instrumental so far. I would actually give this a 7 out of 10. Probably their worst instrumental so far. Pretty good album. A little really heavy in places, really soft in other places. But it does feel just, maybe just a touch recycled. Not much, though. Just a touch. That's the reason why it's not making fantastic perfection. But next up is Omen. This album is going to the bottom of grades. Solid opener with Bloodbath and Beyond. And same with Rise of the Fallen and Great Depression and Lethal Injection and Kingdom. Jeffrey Dahmer is a 7. I don't know what they were thinking with this track. This almost feels like a celebration of Jeffrey Dahmer with screams like Jeffrey Dahmer is the master cannibal. That's a bit off-putting. But then we pick it right back up with Off With Their Heads, Vulture Culture. Mega Doom's a light 9. I really like Mega Doom. Counter Sabotage is a light 8, and Soulfly 7 is like a light 8 as well. But then we have Enslaved. This is going to fantastic under the debut, though. Great opener with Resistance and World Scum. A much more slower and doomier energy. It almost feels like they're channeling like doom metal, if that makes sense. Then you have Intervention, Gladiator, Legions, American Steel, Redemption of Man by God, which features Des Fafara of Cold Chamber and Devil Driver. Excellent track. Probably one of my personal favorites on here. Then you got Treachery, Plateau Ploma, which features a Spanish guitar, and also Change with Vengeance make for a very strong closer. There's no Soulfly instrumental on here, which isn't bad. This is still a very consistent album. I would say from beginning to end, it's like a 10, but it doesn't have the same high points of like, the self-titled Dark Ages or Primitive. So, still a fantastic album though. Still check it out. But next up we have Savages. And unfortunately, I'm just gonna be honest with you, this is their weakest album. This is going to good. I don't think they have a bad album, or even okay album. I think all of their albums are at least good. 7 out of 10 opener with Bloodshed. I would give Cannibal Holocaust a light 8, Fallen a 7, Ayatollah Rock'n'Rolla a 7, Master of Savagery a 7, same with Spiral. This is Violence at KCS. I do like El Kamagente. Honestly, that one is like a light 8, and Sulficatin is a 7 as well. But next up, we have Archangel. This is going to grade above Omen. Sandwich right between. Now, for what it's worth, this is probably their most, of all the great albums, this is probably their most consistent. We Sold Our Souls to Metal is like a light 8, in my opinion. A little obnoxious, but honestly, it still is pretty fun to me, at least. Same with Archangel. Sodomites is a decent 8. Same with Ishtar Rising, that's a decent 8 as well. Live Life Hard is like a light 8. Same with Shamash. Bethlehem's Blood is a light 8. Titans was a decent 8. That one was really good. Same with Deceiver is a light 8, and Mother of Dragons is a light 8 as well. Well, it's not on this list. This also does feature Soulfly. I believe it features Soulfly 10. Yes, this features Soulfly 10. Pretty good instrumental too. I would honestly give that a light 8 as well. But next up, we're getting into good ones now. We're getting into Ritual. Ritual is going to fantastic. It actually replaced Prophecy at fantastic. It's subsidized Prophecy. That's how good this album is, at least in my opinion. 10 out of 10 opener with Ritual. Dead Behind the Eyes has some great energy. Same with The Summoning and Evil Empowered. Under Rapture, this is stupid heavy. Demonized is fantastic, giving off a little bit more demonic energy. Same with Blood on the Streets and Bite the Bullet and Feedback. I also love the instrumental of Soulfly 11. 10 out of 10 album. I love this album. I also love how concise this is, too. This is like 40-45 minutes. Very tight and needy album. I really appreciate that. But next up, we have Totem. And this album is going to perfection. Right under Dark Ages. This is my third favorite. 10 out of 10 opener with Superstition. Scouring the Vial featuring John Tardy is amazing. Filth Upon Filth is amazing. Rot and Pain, The Damage Done, Totem, Ancestors, Ecstasy of Gold, Soulfly 12 is a fantastic instrumental. And their longest song to date, not the longest instrumental, but the longest song, Spirit Animal at 9 minutes and 33 seconds is a phenomenal closer. 10 out of 10 closer. I also really appreciate that this album's only 40 minutes long. Now, granted, they could incorporate some more tribal elements in here, but this thing is so heavy and tidy and neat that I don't care. It is perfection. But next up we have Chama. This is their most recent album to date, released last year in 2025. It is going to amazing, above Conquer, below Prophecy. Solid opener with Indigestion Inquisition. That's a decent 9. Same with Storm the Gates. Nihilist was a 10. Same with No Pain Equals No Power. That was a 10. Gehenna is a 9. Just a little too short. Black Hole Scum and Favela Dystopia are 10s. Always Was, Always Will Be is a 9. Same with Soulfly 13 And Chama is a 10 out of 10 closer as well. This not quite as perfect as Prophecy or my latter half, but pretty close to it. But anyway, that should do it. Drop your own Soulfly ranking in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate that. And I hope all of you have a great day, a great weekend. And if you live in Georgia, there's a big, well, specifically North Georgia, there's this big snowstorm coming. So stay safe out there, y'all. It's going to be dangerous. Just avoid the roads in case they ice over and stay safe. Take care, everyone. I will see all of you next time.